Vickie in Marion, Michigan. Hey, Vickie, what's on your mind today?
Hi, Tom. How are you today?
I'm great. How about you?
Good. This is kind of one of those anything goes Friday things that have bubbled up in my mind. It's about 3 or 4 points here of little threads that I've pulled together to come to an idea. So I don't want to discuss each and every one because I need to, in my time available, get to my question to you. I read your Walking Your Blues Away book and came to the part about shifting the submodalities. I did that quick little exercise about moving an event on the screen up to the right-hand corner, pushing it out until it becomes black and white, not in color, and had an immediate healing of something I've been looking for 40 years. So put that in your list of thank you from another person out here that you have helped heal.
Thank you, Vickie.
Then I had Sebastian Junger's book, Tribe, and his description of being a journalist in Afghanistan and coming under fire, but not having the symptoms of PTSD come to him for about 3 months in the form of panic attacks and kind of unexplained emotional outbursts.
In fact, it didn't happen to him until he got back home, did it? As I recall? Yeah.
Right. Okay. Then I have my dad who had a massive stroke and took 10 years in a wheelchair before he died. And during that time, he would break out in tears a lot. It became very emotional, and they said, well, this was because of brain damage. Okay, fine. Then, now I'm 2 years older than you. I'm starting to have that a bit where small victories, the bad guy gets his comeuppance, something like that that's a great joy. Mm-hmm. I have tears come up, and my husband said to me, oh, well, Vickie, we're getting older. And I said, no, I don't like that idea. I'm going to look at this. And I realized it was the joy of relief. It was when justice came that emotion came up, and all this finally came together. You know, in 10th grade was when Kennedy was assassinated. Mm-hmm. That was a trauma.
Yeah.
That was a flat-out trauma to all of us. The rug was pulled out. Our world was changed. And then you can go on from there. Bobby Kennedy, Martin Luther King, Watergate, Vietnam War, Kent State. I was in Ohio. I wasn't at Kent State, but similar things happened on my campus at that time. So what I finally came to is I wonder if some of us older folks have just had so many of these larger or smaller traumas over our lives, are we now starting to exhibit some form of cumulative PTSD?
That's an interesting question. I noticed when my father got older and toward the end of his life, although he knew he was dying at that point, he had been diagnosed with mesothelioma, that he would cry at the drop of a hat. And I've noticed in myself over the last couple of years that in movies, where you're supposed to cry, where typically I never did, and now I do. And I don't know if that has to do with age or cumulative PTSD, but I do believe that your premise, Vickie, is solid. Whether it emerges as we age or not, I honestly don't have any idea, or whether there's some cumulative effect. But I think I pointed this out in Walking Your Blues Away. It's been a long time since I wrote that book, but I just don't think any of us escape life unscathed. And the amazing thing, and I know I mentioned this in the book, is that something that one person would just like shrug their shoulders and walk away from can cause a lifetime of trauma for another person. The exact same incident, the exact same cutting remark from somebody, or even an attempt at a kind remark. The old saying, I think it was Dale Carnegie who popularized it. It's not what happens to us that matters in our lives. It's how we react to it, and that's the one thing we can control. Well, the fact of the matter is we can't always control that, and we all react differently. So I think that we're all carrying trauma. That's why I wrote that book. I mean, there's just some. And I think that we're self-healing mechanisms, and I think that walking is the way that our bodies evolved. One of the ways that our bodies evolved, not only to physically heal us, but also to psychologically heal us. So be interesting to see. I've been walking a lot, and I use the techniques in that book and have for years. Be interesting to see if that would reduce an overall emotional level, or maybe it's healthy that you're crying tears of joy when you see victories. What do you think, Vickie?
Well, and letting something out after all these years that wasn't able to be let out.
Yeah, maybe there's a certain liberation that comes with age, just like wisdom, comes with age. The result of experience plus knowledge. I don't have an easy answer other than that. None of us get out of life unscathed. None of us. Vickie, thank you so much for the call. And thanks for the feedback on the book. Appreciate it. And on the techniques. We'll be right back.
To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.